Yeah, you'll have to excuse the hair and everything. It's been a few days on the road and only was expecting to be gone one night. But here we have the mighty Caterpillar 349F excavator. It's got a big bucket on it. And we are getting some repairs done before we deliver it. Apparently some of the grease lines got jacked up. Weighs about 110,000 on its own. And we got it on the Cozad 9-axle 8-tire. About between 70 and 74,000 maybe empty with this setup in my truck. I can't remember, I got it written down somewhere. But we're gonna get this sucker delivered and I'm gonna enjoy my day and a half off. This thing is an absolute beast. I would love to run it. We got 8 chains on the tracks, 2 at each corner, cross-chained about like that. That's how I like to do it. Some guys just go all to the outside right here. Some guys just connect them from here and go down to here on both of them. But it makes me feel a little better having them pull at a little bit more of an angle from opposite directions. And then I put one over the teeth on the bucket and I pull down. The buckets like to relax, so if you do it any other way, your chains are always going to come loose. They seem to do that no matter what you do, but I've had better luck by doing that. And another thing with these is we don't always get to wash them before we haul them. That's just kind of the way it goes out here. So when we load them, I'm sure a lot of you guys have done this, put your boom down, you lift up on one of the tracks and you run that track as fast as you can go, just that side, and it gets rid of a lot of the stuff. You still got to go around and get the rocks, but no matter what you do, you get going down the freeway and you're leaving a dust cloud, just hoping to God you don't get pulled over. But this one wasn't too bad. It's really a nice excavator. I would love to get to play with it, but that's not going to happen because it's got to get delivered and it's needed where it's at. It's going to one of the gold mines. These things go all over the place. The other one we haul is like an Hitachi 600, and that thing is massively heavy. I forget what the gross weight on it is, but I know it is freaking heavy. But I love hauling tracked equipment, you know, because as you can see, the chains they're really easy to get chained down, and if you get all your chains thrown out, you know, like right here, that's one chain, 2 binders attached at 2 different points, so I'm going to consider that like using 2 chains. For the most part, I've never had any trouble. If we go out of state, we'll hook it up to the points right there and cross it to the frame and then put them on the tracks, because some places don't like the tracks being binded down. I don't know. It's just never really had a problem. But I just absolutely love hauling this stuff. It looks impressive going down the road. It looks cool on my trailer. Plus my truck looks awesome. Just got it washed the other day. I'm getting some axle alignment problems. It's got a new way suspension on it and they can't just adjust it. So you know how this goes in trucking. We're busy and sometimes tires might be a little cheaper than putting a truck down, but we got to get it scheduled, and they're gonna have to cut all where the bushings bolt on, realign the axles and weld them back on top of putting new bushings. But the biggest problem is that when they run the VIN number, this used to have 40,000 pound rear ends and they've upgraded them to the 46,000 pound rear ends, so it's kind of like a custom setup. It's a really awesome setup. It's got the 5-foot spreads on the axle. It rides really smooth. I can get a lot of weight on the back. But you know how it is when things go wrong, you got to get them fixed. So they'll get it done. I ain't worried about it. So I got to try to get back up on these videos. I just got so busy. I mean busy. I really just haven't had any motivation to make videos. The GoPro's been sitting on my passenger seat, and you guys know how it is. Sometimes you just got to get the customer taken care of. But while we're here, let's check out some other stuff. Here we got a D10. I think it's a D10N or something like that. They've got the They've got the blade off. Our other guy hauled this in from the same place I got the excavator. It's gonna get some repairs done. She's an oldie, but a good one. And then here's a D10R. Look at that thing, just look at it. Just freaking awesomeness. There's a D10R, and there's its blade. You'll have to excuse the camera. I got it in the front-facing camera so that I could speak, and I'm still trying to get a good process down for getting this all down. And here we have a 950H Caterpillar, little tiny wheel loader with some forks on it. Pretty freaking cool. I've spent a lot of time on a wheel loader. There's another D10R. You know, these things are just, I mean, they just go and go and go and go, and there's just certain things that wear out and go wrong with them, and you know, they move around project to project, and it's just amazing out here in Nevada that the amount of money spent on moving stuff. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's not feasible to buy a however much that piece of equipment costs and have one for each site, you know. I mean, between the drillers and the construction and everything, it is just booming out here. But I'm ready for winter time. I love driving in the snow, and that's what sets me apart from a lot of other people. Is I got my CDL in the snow. A lot of guys come out here and work from other areas, you know, that don't snow, and they just absolutely dread the winter time. They throw fits when they got to put their chains on. But you know what? You just get out of your truck, you put your chains on, and you keep going down the road, and that's what it is. If you can't drive because you're oversized, it is what it is. Can't get mad, don't get pissed, you just deal with it. I mean, it's trucking, it's just the way it goes. So, what else? We have anything else here? Little tiny Bobcat excavator. Now that would be really handy for putting some flowers in my backyard, but I don't think the wife would be very happy if I rented one of those just to pull some weeds. But so yeah, there's an update. Hauling some stuff for one of our good customers, Ames, and we'll get them accommodated and get everything where it needs to go, and that's that. So I'll get back at you guys Monday. I'm going to get a tank loaded up going to New Mexico on a stretch trailer. It'll be 14.5 feet wide. It's not going to be very much weight, but those are the kind of oversized loads for me that I enjoy, because I'll have pilot cars. They'll be with me the whole time. You've got an extra set of eyes on the road, someone to talk to. You know, it makes for a really cool trip. It makes it easy, especially the pilot car I'm getting is a really good pilot car, and they know their stuff. So, I mean, we can get it down there and get it done, and who even knows, maybe I'll get a backhaul or something. That would be nice. I love backhauls primarily because I don't like running empty sometimes. I mean, sometimes when we haul like a 777, it's nice to run empty on the way home because your brain just needs to relax. But when you're hauling something like this tank, you know, it's to me, it's easier. It's still all a challenge, but that kind of stuff is easier. And it's just a nice, like, you get a backhaul and it keeps you engaged. I don't know, you guys might know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys may just be like, eh. But for me, having a load on the trailer and having to be more engaged is more rewarding to me, because it makes the time go by faster instead of just, like, to me, deadheading is just like driving a car down the highway. It's kind of boring. And you always get a few more hours or something for those of us that get paid by the hour, and some get paid by the mile, and some get paid by the job. I was kind of curious. I want to ask you guys how that works out. If any of you guys haul some of this bigger stuff and get load pay, or do you get by the miles? As far as I know, it was mostly heavy hauls by the hour or by the load, or kind of something worked out like that, or salary kind of deals. But feel free to comment and everything, and there's gonna be more to come. Like I said, the channel's real. This is me. This is what I do. I just want to show people what I do, and I want to show them that trucking and transporting and hauling equipment and freight, whatever, you name it. I mean, it's all got to go somewhere, and there is a major shortage of drivers. Nobody wants to do it anymore. It doesn't have the stigma like it did years ago when, I mean, in the 70s and the 80s, and you know, before it started becoming a common person's job. I mean, some of you guys out there are just getting it done. Guys that years ago never would have thought they could have drove a truck or worked for a company and you know, drove trucks down the highway that big, you know. And some of you guys are just absolutely amazing. And then there's the other guys that are out there that are just a hired person to hold the wheel and get the truck from point A to point B. And that's a whole nother subject I'm trying to put something together on. But that'll be more to come, and that's that. I'm trying to hit the stop button, Jesus.